very small amount of buyers coming into the marketplace, and then gadoosh, all right? You literally can see that a tremendous amount of sell side pressure just came into the marketplace, much more substantial than all the buy side that we have seen, again, in the past 3 years and even in the past 5 years. Traders, what is going on, guys? As you guys know, markets right now are a complete mess. Top Trader family, I'm excited to be doing another fundamental breakdown of what we're seeing right now in markets. Okay, we're hitting record volatility. We just hit a high that we haven't seen on the Japanese yen in the past 7 years. Okay, and amazingly, this was something that we predicted in a sense. Okay, this is something that we predicted back in October, back when we were in Thailand. All right, so I want to roll the tape real quick. Let's just get it out there. I want to show you guys exactly what we thought could happen. Say we have what's called pressing catalyst. All right, in the fundamental trading business, there's something called a pressing catalyst. It's anything that could drive markets. Okay, we mentioned if we have one or maybe two pressing catalysts, we could see this entire move erode on the S&P 500, and that's exactly what we are seeing. Okay, so take a look here at the tape we recorded about 4.5 months ago of what we thought could happen. Say we had a virus, a pandemic, a trade, whatever it could have been. Take a look here. Right now, we just broke all-time highs, and it's on nothing. The market is trading so thinly in regards to buyers and sellers that one little thing can happen. One little thing can happen. All those sellers, people who are waiting to get into the market that don't have any reason right now to get in because maybe markets are too expensive. Anyone that has one reason to short this market, they're going to come in, and they're going to come in full force. Okay, so guys, that's something I just really want you guys to pay attention to. I think that it could be something that could be very advantageous for you, whether you're doing options, maybe you can start buying the Japanese yen, but this is going to be more of a long-term play, but it's definitely going to be something that you're going to want to pay attention to. And as we've seen in history, just based off of what happened here in Q3 2018, it can definitely be a massive price. All right, so guys, that's exactly what we see happening. All right, so we're here. I'm gonna brighten up my screen real quick. I want you guys to take a look here at the S&P 500. So if I zoom out and we head over to a weekly real quick, you guys will see we were right around this price area when we created that video on what could happen to the S&P 500. And as you guys can see, we did have a decently sized move, okay, since that point. All right, the S&P was trading higher and higher and higher. And folks, this is the part, all right, that I don't think anybody was paying attention to, but we in the Top Trader community were talking about it literally every single day. The market is moving higher on declining volume. I'm going to post a link to that video down below so you guys can see in its entirety what we were seeing could potentially happen here, but that's exactly what happened. I want you guys right now to pay attention to down here. This is called price data. This is level 2 data. This is what you have in the stock market, futures market, anywhere there's a centralized exchange. We don't have that in the Forex market because it's decentralized. But here we have a lot of volume coming through the NYC stock market, and so boom, we get to see that data reflected here. They give us that information on the amount of buys and sells coming in. And what we can see is if we head over here to the weekly, we're here on the weekly. Take a look. You guys will notice that week after week, okay, and really month after month, there's less and less traders trading in this marketplace. We can easily see that because, again, you can notice I have a little trend line drawn here where there's, again, just less buy side, less sell side. But the most significant part about this market trading to the upside here, especially in 2019, near the end of 2019, where we mentioned markets could really turn on themselves, is notice this, folks. All right, you have even less sell volume and even less buy volume coming in. And so you just had markets rising. They were rising on illiquidity. These markets were being held up by a few hundred million, shares being purchased by God knows who. Okay, God knows who has been buying into this marketplace. All right, but at the end of the day, it's less and less people. Guys, that is massively substantial, and that's exactly what we predict here. I'm going to roll the tape actually right here on the part where if you understand how volume functions, a lack of volume makes an inefficient market, which allows for these huge types of capitulations to come into the marketplace. We're going to forecast where we think markets can go, but real quick, I want you guys to take a look here and hear me explain this back in October, where we mentioned that this could cause what we see happening today. Take a look.
All right, which is basically our volume. Notice how we're getting declining price, and then out of nowhere you get a decent little spike, nothing substantial, but you get a decent little bit of sell side coming into the market, enough to show here that, again, markets are now getting more volume, but it's sell volume. Okay, it's not buy side volume. And that's really important, because when you have the market increasing month after month, week after week, quarter after quarter, it's increasing, but it's increasing on declining volume. That is an enormous red flag. So, okay, so right here you guys can see that markets are weekly holding these highs. Look how little the volume is here. So all that has to happen is maybe one or two things to come out that are even just slightly negative, and that's going to put so much sell side pressure on the market that what happened? We erased and sold off all 2018 returns here. Okay, and so that's just interesting stuff that you guys got to pay attention to, because that gives you a massive opportunity to take advantage of these markets in this context.
All right, and so what's ironic about this situation with volume? Notice what we just have seen. We have seen the two largest price volume spikes in the past 3 years on the S&P 500. So we've had a lack of buying, a very, very, very small amount of buyers, more buyers than sellers, but still a very small amount of buyers coming into the marketplace. And then gadoosh, all right? You literally can see that a tremendous amount of sell side pressure just came into the marketplace, much more substantial than all the buy side that we have seen, again, in the past 3 years and even in the past 5 years. If I expand out real quick. Okay, so take a look. Now you guys can see it's in entirety, okay? What has been happening with the volume here? Less and less, year after year. Even since 2012, we have been seeing less and less volume. So basically what this means, traders, all right, is this is just the beginning. All right, this is just the beginning. Yes, we have just eroded all of our 2019 price gains, because right now we're literally trading at the on the S&P 500 at 2780, which is exactly where markets picked up in 2019, where they left off in 2018, and we've given back every single nickel of a gain that we had in 2019. So all that means is, yes, sure, we have eroded 1 year of price data, but the interesting part about that is we really 80%, nearly 80% of the entire move, I would say maybe even around 70% of the entire price move in 2019 happened in the last quarter of 2019. October, November, December. Take a look here. If we pull out and I show you guys what we're looking like here, let's go to the 1 year chart. All right, notice, all right, you guys can see from 3,000 really all the way up to 3,400. All of that happened at the end of October. And if we pull back real quick, and I'll show you guys what we're looking like on the weekly one more time, but we're going to zoom in a little bit more. We started off the year in 2019 at 2,600. So again, we had about 40%, really around 55% of the entire price move we saw in 2019 in the last 3 months of the year. And why is that substantial? It's substantial because, again, that does show that whatever sparked markets near the end of the year, whatever that specific catalyst was, something that we're going to do some research on and come back tomorrow to tell you guys a little bit about. Make sure you guys subscribe to the video. Make sure you guys also have your post notification bell on, because these markets are moving extremely fast. Okay, and we want you guys to know what's happening, what's going on based off of, you know, the content that we're going to be publicizing. All right, so tomorrow we're going to dive a little bit deeper. There's just a lot of mania, obviously, at the moment, but we're going to dive a little deeper, see exactly what that run-up was all about in Q4 2019. And obviously, is this coronavirus? Right, I mentioned again, one catalyst could have this whole market tank sell side. Sure, coronavirus obviously has been the major catalyst, but now people are starting to ask the question, okay, well, Fed just cut interest rates. Is that going to have something to do with anything? So on and so forth, all right? So the question you guys have been waiting on probably at this point, right, is what's the trade, right? What's the trade? What do we do from here? Well, we have been able to capitalize massively on the JPY trading to the buy side, okay? We have had the single largest JPY buy move in the past 7 years. Okay, let me pull back here. We're on TradingView, and TradingView, top traders, we created our proprietary indexes for each currency. So that's what you guys are looking at here. You're looking at just the JPY relative to all the other currency pairs. It's something that everybody in our Top Trader Academy has access to. So if you pull back, you guys will notice we haven't been at this price level in the JPY since 2013. Kyler has been screaming buy the JPY inside of our community, so a lot of our traders have profited massively on this move, whether they're buying the Aussie JPY. Kyler said he had exposure to, and I'm going to post some of the screenshots of him mentioning where he had his exposure. But at the end of the day, that has been a very profitable position. If you guys didn't know about that trade, or if you guys aren't in that move at the moment, again, I know you're sitting on the sideline saying, all right, Cleveland, what's the move? How do I get access to that position? Let me zoom in a bit. All right, we have to take a lot of things into account. We have just seen a ridiculous run up here on this JPY. I mean, what do you want me to do? You want me to tell you, yeah, guys, go ahead, get in now? I mean, that is a very hard question to ask. We have to assess what markets are going to be doing over the next few hours, maybe even over the next day or two. Does that mean you potentially have lost the opportunity to buy into this move? Yes, potentially, okay? It depends. So stylistically, though, you are going to have to come into this JPY with a specific type of trading strategy, okay? So you could potentially be using breakout strategies. That's going to work pretty well, okay? Because at the moment, if you're looking to buy a pullback, which is what we were looking at, notice here, if I draw it up real quick, you guys will be able to see that we were trading at these highs here in September, and then slowly but surely on this JPY, we were moving sell side, okay? And so for us, we were looking at this as a potential opportunity to catch a pullback. So we were looking at the JPY in a pullback style methodology. Well, that pullback has completely pulled back in a sense, right? And so now if you're still looking to get exposure into the JPY, yes, you are now looking to do things in a breakout style fashion. Okay, so here, if we pull open, and let's take a look at the Aussie JPY, so that way we can have a better idea of what's happening. So are you going to be taking breakouts on the daily? No, you are going to have to lower your time frame a bit, and you're going to want to look for consolidation during more quiet market periods. So, you know, the U.S. market, it's 11:20. U.S. markets are right now going to be going a little crazy for the next few hours. But once that U.S. market wraps up, you might have a lull, okay, after really 3:30, 4 o'clock. You might have a lull all the way up until the Aussie session. That might be an opportunity to catch a breakdown after we get that potential lull in markets, that lull in volatility, okay, and just price action in general. So that's stylistically how you would want to get in to some of these moves. You would look for either just a lull in general, right? I wouldn't go down to the 5-minute, 10, 15, 30 minutes. That's just noise. What you think could be a lull might just be a little bit of a quiet time in markets for, you know, a few minutes, and then bang, you get some massive price move. You want to see true consolidation. And so right now, what we're seeing right here on the Aussie 4-hour is some consolidation, right? We have about 4 bars right now of markets really slowing that sell side momentum. And so if we were to either draw some type of little simple line here that shows, hey, this is the potential point at which we could start taking more sell side breaks. If you think that this Aussie JPY is going to continue sell side, this is what you would want to do. Now, if you think that, hey, no, Cleveland, I think it's all market panic, I think it's all bullshit, you know, again, you might want to be looking at a gap fill type of scenario where you could see markets trade back up into this market structure here. But this is the potential range where we could see the Aussie JPY at the moment. Now, again, we've been short. We already made our money on this JPY buy side move. So I'm only putting this out there in regards to somebody who has not yet had the opportunity to get that exposure, all right? So the only reason I'm looking at JPY is because it's our biggest price move of the day. Again, come back tomorrow. I want to talk to you guys and give you a brief breakdown of exactly what we see on all the different currencies. They all have been affected massively. Oil, for example, is down 19% today. There's a lot of action there as well that you can take advantage of and that we have experienced trading in these market conditions. The only time traders, retail guys, and really all traders make money, all right, is when markets are volatile. But this is also when traders lose a lot of their money. So you have to be extremely careful. If you guys need to learn a little bit more about fundamentals, you guys can click the link in the description. Take a look at the Academy. There's a landing page there for you guys to get some more information. And if you guys are still waiting on the Top Trader app, it will be coming out very, very soon. We are excited about that. And that's going to help a lot. In these type of conditions. It's going to help you monitor your trading performance and help you improve your trading performance as long as you're trading. The more you trade, the smarter the application gets. All right, so guys, come back tomorrow. I really want to see what happens here. I gave you a little prelude of what you could see. Maybe the JPY is your play. Maybe you trade it back up into that gap fill. Maybe you wait out a little bit and maybe you take the sell side break. But at this exact moment, you really don't want to be scrambling around trying to get entries because that's usually where you start messing up. If you've already missed the move, you've already missed the move, okay? Do what you can to kind of sit back, do as much research as possible on what's happening in markets. Fundamentally, it's the most important thing. So you're not just looking at charts and going, why is this happening? Oh, I'm a technical guy. I see the JPY just had the single largest price move in 7 years. I'm just gonna buy in. Technicals literally don't make sense in these type of market conditions. You have to know what's happening fundamentally, all right? So guys, let me know what you need. We'll be out tomorrow. Stay up, post it on our Instagram. Sometimes we'll post stuff throughout the day on our IG just because it's a little bit faster, a little bit easier as well. The link for that is in the description below. I seem a little antsy. I seem a little excited because these are massive money-making opportunities, all right? So guys, take it serious. If you guys need anything from us, let us know. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll give a pretty in-depth breakdown, okay? See you guys tomorrow.